Jai Hare Krishna. Prabhu, last time you couldn't record to the cloud, right?
No, I didn't.
No, because
last
again,
time that I... Oh, okay, yes. Okay,
it's again.
understood. Okay. We need to delete again some files,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Jai Hare Krishna. Good morning, obeisances, Maharaj.
But you do know what I said, did you? Do you? No. I said
Good morning, obeisances.
I said Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhavya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So happily meeting you and devotees coming together bit by bit of the devotees, arms, legs. We were wondering how Brahma, I mean, we can't understand anything. How does Brahma make everything? I mean, I know he makes it by the potency of Krishna, but yesterday we were seeing the flowers on the altar and such beautiful flowers, they're perfectly symmetrical, beautifully made, beautiful colors. And you think, well, no, Brahma made all of this, but how did he make it? I mean, we're always thinking how, and why, aren't we? But it's just so incredible. And it's not that he made one flower. He made 8,400,000 species of life. And that's a living entity, if you like, okay, empowered by the Lord, or sometimes the Lord himself takes that post because of powerful living entity. But that's a spark of Krishna's potency. In Krishna, he's got millions and billions of Lord Brahmas and universes and flower makers and peacock makers, the peacock feather. Amazing to see that.
And garland makers.
And garland makers, the humans who make the garlands. All right, dear devotees, let's begin step by step. And yes, Hare Krishna and flowers and hearts and all kinds of sweet things from Dana and from each other to each other. And good to see you all. We're a small group just now, but we'll get bigger as time goes by, I'm sure, during the coming minutes. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Prayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvijay Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So start in an auspicious way and continue in an auspicious way. Back to basics, life. Oh my goodness. Nirupama Devirasi and Mathura Basini, Jagamohini, Madhava Prabhu and Priya Bhakta Prabhu are visible on Facebook. So we have an equal number on Facebook and Zoom just now. So we have a little competition. So, and maybe more on Facebook because I can't see those who I cannot see. Only if you make a little comment there, can we see. All right, so dear devotees, we're coming together and as always, we're reminded about the world. Some places it's sunrise, some places it's midday or even afternoon. Some places it's night and almost midnight. So we're reminded about Srila Gurudev's happiness to adapt one expression of the British. That was that the sun never sets on the British Empire. It was like the pride of Queen Victoria, I believe. But the sun never sets on Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. So Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, the glories of Srila Guru Maharaj is how Srila Gurudev is seeing everything. The glories of Srila Guru Maharaj, those are being chanted constantly all over the world. And Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, somewhere the sun is always shining on the devotees and on the ashrams. And happily we have also the news, I mean, we keep in touch, or they keep in touch with us from Hawaii too, which is the middle of nowhere if one considers the ocean to be nowhere. And the ocean is something that we can think, oh, it's just water. But again, if you go into the ocean with a snorkel or a diving kit or something, you'll find that the ocean is full of variety. Not only water, but there's so much life in the ocean. In fact, a whole other world where they breathe a different environment. So right in this world, we have such places. We cannot breathe what the fish breathe. They breathe water. Okay, I know there's oxygen in there, but they breathe the water. And if they breathe oxygen, they die. If we breathe water, we die. So,
Maharaj, I'm defending that the sun never sets in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, and it does, because the most beautiful and exquisite sunsets are in Navadvip Dham. Look at that. Look at that.
And you do know it's a sunset, and you chose a suitable background color. Well done. Yes, we know that. And if I just make it so it's not so small on my screen. Oh, yeah, this is taken exactly from the roof of the men's house. Means men's house. The Paschatya Sevak Bhavan, Westerners' Seva building. But it's time for somebody to go up and put flags on the temples, isn't it? Some of the flags are still standing, but Gurudev will wonder, where's the flags? After the storms and everything, then we'd have some happy seva to go up and put flags on the temple. Yes, a beautiful picture. And that's the very tip of the top of Srila Gurudev's, Srila Gurudev's Samadhi. But now you can't see, right? Small. That's the front left of the photo is the tip. Okay, but we can't see. Okay, so dear devotees, here we are. Now I'm a little lost in the screen. Okay, here we are, and we're together, and it's a very active time of year, it seems, for doing lots of things for the distribution of Krishna consciousness, distribution of Sukriti, etc., and distribution of lots of prasadam and lots of maybe bhoga, but cooking and serving for the public for fundraising for the temples, which is taking place in London, which is where I was. This time yesterday, I was in London. And this time yesterday, which here is 4 o'clock in the morning, or 10 past 4 by now, then they were already starting to prepare for the cooking at 4 a.m. for the distribution in a yoga something taking place, a big yoga event, a 3-day yoga event in London, where they have all sorts of participants. And I think they have one, I heard mention, like 100 stalls there of different departments of kind of yoga and I do not know, as you know, astrology, Vedic things, clothing from the East, and aura reading and things like this. But there, our devotees have a stall, and they're very industrious to do some collection, some fundraising for the temple, and openly as you know, as devotees and with books. And each day, today also Sunday, they'll be doing Harinam Sankirtan, and today they've got a slot on the stage as well, I think 1 hour or something on the main stage, for presenting Krishna consciousness to the people. So they're busy there. In Rome, Krishna Kanta, Devirasi and Munindra Mohan Prabhu, they have been presenting Krishna consciousness again to a good, like educated, good section of society in the center of Rome, at a place known as the Bibliothèque. But it's run by a devotee, and we've done programs there before. And it's an old style. It feels like you're in the 19th century, not the 20th century, which is quite modern, believe it or not, but the 19th century, which is black and white. We have proof because there's no color pictures, right? So black and white, 19th century, then they're in a place with a book shelves from floor to ceiling, and all kinds of books, but esoteric books means essentially the Vedic books is not really full of, you know, so many speculation things, but yes, we don't know who the authors are, but basically they're books on the Vedic theme. And they call it the Bibliothèque, and it's run by a devotee, Śrīla Prabhupada's disciple, and his name is Āchāryadev Prabhu. And anyhow, it feels like a very suitable place for presenting a deep philosophy, for presenting what Guru Maharaj gave. So Krishna Kanta and Munindra have been in Rome and still are in Rome, and they're doing programs there. And in the park where they do regular yoga Sunday, must be Saturday because it was yesterday, regular Saturday yoga in the park programs. And then after that, the actual physical yoga, they invite those who are doing yoga to stay on for a short while to hear Hare Katha. And they invite also the public, so that it's a public place. It's a beautiful park in Rome. And Rome is Rome. But somehow it's a little different from everywhere else because everybody expects it to be different, I think. But anyway, it is a kind of a special park with these beautiful trees, and they're different from the Brazil trees. Oh yes, our Brazil devotees are, oh no, Leela Moy is here. Okay, I can say our other Brazilian devotees are resting now, which they should be, midnight. But Brazil has these special trees with their branches like pointing upwards at the end as it goes up the tree. And here in Rome, they've got these trees which are just the trunk, and then at the top, they have all the branches like a big umbrella shade thing. And in this park, it is like that. And so it's a sweet place for doing meditative things. And so they're doing yoga, and then they're presenting Krishna consciousness there yesterday. And I'm not sure what the program is there today. But anyway, in London, and where I was 24 hours ago, and here in Italy, where I am at this hour, then lots of activity taking place. So I can just share that with you all. And now, and Muktinath Prabhu is there in Thailand. And very soon we shall also be on our way to Thailand. But I'll still be here for the next two Zooms. We'll still be here. And the next back to basics after that, in other words. Yeah, so so 2 more Zooms from Italy, and then the next Zoom will be in Thailand. So Muktinath Prabhu, what news from Thailand? Or some contribution from Thailand? We're starting the Thailand touching Thailand in preparation for the festivals.
Dhanyavad Maharaj, Dhanyavad dear devotees. Is some preparation going on, as I heard from Ram Sundar Prabhu. So very short news about what's going on about festival, and like as same as usual, everyone waiting when it's starting and do something. So yeah, it's 2 more Zoom. It's 1 week. So after 1 week already, you will come to
10 days. I'll be there next Tuesday evening, a week on Tuesday evening, yes.
Okay. So yes, something like that. And just you tell about flags on the top of the temple in the picture. So yeah, and remind me, just recently I talked with Ame Singh Prabhu, and he was at Govardhan temple, and he called me just from the top of the temple. He just changed flags there. So he did it. Yeah.
Okay, well. It's a happy service because you have to rely on Krishna a lot.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. And what have you read this week, Muktinath Prabhu?
This week, I listened Guru Maharaj YouTube recording, and a little bit heard from Instagram reading. Ashapurna reads Guru Maharaj book in Instagram every day, maybe Ashapurna Didi, and it was quite good chapter, and I listen a bit.
Salt Lake City, Ashapurna? No.
Now is some different part of America. I'm actually not
Oh,
sure.
okay, but this Ashapurna, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Āchāryadev from United States, yes.
She is a good reader, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the content is perfect.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. And today, oh yes, because it is Sunday, perhaps we don't have Jivana, but we do have Gangalila Devidasi. And maybe we can ask Gangalila for a few words. And we have Krishnendrani Didi with us.
So I have to find where the light switches are. I'm not so sure.
We can hear you at least.
My house. I'm not in my house. I am in Ojai, which is about a couple hours or 3-4 hours away from where I live. And it's a place over this lady named Kelly. She's a beautiful artist, and she's hosting Vishaka Didi. So Vishaka is here. She's in the room next. And Āchāryadev is here, and also kind of funny because he's also here on this call, but we are also in person here. And it's a wonderful place. So I arrived Thursday, and Vishaka has been here for a couple of weeks, and they're starting every day. We're doing chanting in the morning. And today was special because there was this full sun eclipse visible from the US, and in the Vedic idea is do something auspicious, don't go outside and stare at it. And then we spent this time together chanting and talking about Gurudev. So it was really, really auspicious, and I'm really happy I could be here. But tomorrow I'll be driving back to where I stay, south of Los Angeles, and it's very beautiful. So I'm feeling in good Vaishnava association. What a blessing. And Vishaka is also going to leave next week, I believe, to London and back to Europe. So I'm really happy that we can be just spending some good time. that's my report.
Very good. And we hear that Āchāra is quite the community of Vaishnavas. It's developed into like a whole village or small town, is it? Which is mainly Vaishnavas?
It's a small town, and some people actually came over. There was a program. Āchāryadev is so talented, and he knows people here. Actually, today I learned he's actually from here, and he's here. He can speak more. But we had a nice program, and people came. They live nearby, and somebody who's originally from Nepal was also playing the mridanga, but also lives here now, I believe. So it's my first time, and I'm just starting to fall in love with the place because I've never been here before. And yes, it seems that it is quite enchanted. I took a walk today. The nature is amazing. It's just oranges and avocado orchards and birds and limes and dates, and it's just so abundant. It's precious.
Okay. And if anyone's looking for Āchāra on the map, then you're probably having a little difficulty. It's spelled O-J-I, Āchāra.
Oh, hi.
The J is like the Mexican J, isn't it?
I think it's Mexican. I think it's a Spanish thing.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of flowers for you to look at right here. Jai, they smell very fragrant.
Ah, yes. Okay, beautiful, Gangalila Didi. Many thanks for that update. That's appreciated. And then maybe Jayadev, are you free and available to say a word or two about the program, sir? Maybe.
Oh dear, on the spot. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, we can, clearly, Prabhu, clearly.
Wonderful. Can you see me okay? I think my camera's backwards. Give me a sec here.
Well, it's nice.
There I am. Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Dandavats. I was so happy.
Dandavats.
Yeah, Gangalila's right next to, I can see the light in her window from the sprinter here. Yeah, Āchāra is a Chumash word. So the Chumash were the indigenous people of this land, and they named it Āchāra because it's a river valley where there's a river down the middle and then a lot of flat, and then it's all surrounded on all sides, and then even in the back by mountains. So it's very sheltered, and it was throughout indigenous history, and even during the kind of Inquisition and all those bad times with Christianity, this was a safe haven and a peaceful place. It was always peaceful. And in general, lots of mystics, sages, some maybe more, not so much our persuasion, but Krishnamurti, many different, different saints and sages have come here. It's a very special place. And we do have an amazing Vaishnava community, a mix, a lot of senior disciples of Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. I wish we had more disciples of Śrīla Gurudeva and Śrīla Guru Maharaj. That would be wonderful. We're doing our best here to hold down. It's been amazing actually to be with Kelly, who I didn't think she's been on your Zoom before. She is such a wonderful person. And it's funny because Gangalila, when she first came here, I was confused that I could swear she's been here a bunch. So Gangalila, I think your essence has already been here a lot. And so in my heart, you've already been here very, like, all the time. Like, this is your home, So glad you finally came home again. And it's been absolutely amazing. We've almost had like a mini retreat because it's been Kelly, Shri Vishaka, Gangalila, myself, and occasional other people will come in and chime in. But we've been, every morning program, going through the bhajans. It's been just wonderful. Yeah, I feel like it's a spontaneous Vaishnava retreat, something I've never done before, but I love it. So yeah.
And I believe Madhavi from South America is there, perhaps with her family. I'm not sure, with her children.
There's someone who was at Gangalila that's in Ventura, who has a child in Ventura that Vishaka was talking about.
Shamakanta, I believe. was it?
Samakanta, yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay. All right. Anyway, good to hear. And a little bit, that community reminds me a little bit about Salt Lake City, where first, a couple of devotees go, and then other devotees come to join them, then others come to join them, and then gradually you come to have a community of devotees. So we know that from the Srila Prabhupada section of devotees from some time ago, some devotees sort of went there as a retreat to practice their Krishna consciousness, and then others came, and that's how naturally there's a community of devotees there. So very good. And except for the devotees, the community of devotees, I know nothing about it until this morning, or here this morning, where we've heard how beautiful it is, and with the river and the trees. And like in Navadip, every tree was useful. And we can say all true trees are useful, but there are some trees which are more useful, especially those that give fruits and flowers and fragrance and all these things. And so Kadamba trees, Tamal trees, mango trees, Devadaru trees, all kinds of trees, and betel trees, and coconut trees, and banana trees. Like each tree was a useful tree, if you like. And Srimad Bhagavatam, I was interested that one day it jumped out at me that about some place which was being described, and it was an inauspicious place. It wasn't showing auspicious symptoms. And one of the inauspicious symptoms was it was full of useless trees. Oh my goodness. The poor trees. We're normally told that trees are for the benefit of others. But even the useless trees, I'm sure that at least their wood burned, something would happen. Okay, thank
I
you.
remember that it was Srila Prabhupada's purport in Srimad Bhagavatam. Might be the second canto. It's one of the earlier cantos, and he calls them impious trees. And he's talking about in Kali Yuga how in Western society they don't plant fruit trees. They don't plant trees to give flowers or fruit, but it's all just like these decorative impious trees that are, a lot of them are toxic. They're just decorative, and the only reason they plant them is because they don't make a mess. I'm expanding on it a little bit here, but they only plant the trees that don't make a mess, or they're decorative on the freeway. And so, but I remember his word, impious trees. That's what he called them.
Interesting. It jumped out at you as well as to me. Yes. Jai, many thanks, Āchāryadev Prabhu. Much appreciated. Good to see you. And while we can, Rupanuga Prabhu is there live from Australia or Thailand. Never sure where you are at any moment. A little insight from your world, devotional insight, kindly, from your world.
Yes, I am still in Australia and heading to Thailand next week, where I'm so looking forward to being there in a spiritual place, especially at this time of world turmoil and wars. And it will be good to go into that retreat with you.
How do you know there's world turmoil? You read the news. Oh dear.
I do. I keep up with current affairs. Somebody has to.
Yeah.
But at the moment I'm in the wilderness in an area where they're going to develop, and I've come here to see whether I should protest with the others over it or just enjoy the wilderness. And I've decided to enjoy it. So I'm right in the bush here by a river, and in Krishna current right now.
Jai. Jai Rupanuga Prabhu. I'm looking forward to seeing you also soon in our gathering. Kartik, that's the auspicious time. Kartik gathering of devotees. Hare Krishna. So the speed of time again. I mean, I couldn't believe when Chaturmasya was beginning that the years they run by, and a reminder that we need to use every moment all the time to be trying to remember Krishna, chanting the holy name and going in the right direction, because the years run by. As you and I both know, Rupanuga Prabhu, when we get past 25, as we just have crossed 25 a few months ago, then the years go faster and faster. Hare Krishna. And we don't have anybody here from Latvia, but in Latvia, it was interesting yesterday to hear that they did a catering. They were the caterers for a Buddhist retreat. And Suresh Krishna, who's heading the catering, he expressed his experience of doing this Buddhist retreat, because nobody can talk. They also are not allowed to talk. They were doing, well, they called it Vipassana, but I think it's Mauna Vrata. I'd have to look up what is the proper meaning of Vipassana, but Mauna Vrata is generally what we know as the vow not to speak. So they were doing this not to speak anything, and not maybe to hear anything except from their master. So they don't want to hear any talks, this, that, and the other, and they don't want to speak anything. And so this was taking place last weekend in Latvia, and they did the prasad distribution. But it was interesting because he told that he had to go through a change of mind, because he said, at first I'm quite disturbed at my ego, coming in and thinking, this is all so wrong, this, that, and the other, what they're doing. But then he said, I was offering, they were cooking, and then he said, I'm offering the food to the picture of the deities. I think the deities in Navadip. So I'm chanting my Gayatri, and while I'm chanting my Gayatri, after, while offering the food, said, then suddenly a change of mind came across me that, yes, but we are distributing prasadam to these people who are seekers. They're seeking something. Otherwise, why are they paying money also to go on a retreat, not to hear anything and not to speak anything, only to hear from the master? And then he said, but we've come here to be with them, to feed them. So we are offering them prasadam, and offering to the deities, offering to the Lord, cooking in this way. And this way that they are going to get their agyata sukriti. They've come looking for something, but Krishna's reaching them in the manner of prasadam at least. And then he said, my mind was very peaceful. Then, okay, I had a change of heart. And then on the last day, they were allowed to speak. And on the last day, they touched base with everyone, including the leader. And he said it was interesting because they were all impressed by the prasadam. And one of whether monk or the people, retreat people, one of the Buddhists, they said, oh, and it's like the food had come from heaven. It felt like that when we were eating it, or come from the Lord. Come from heaven, from the Lord. And then that was the opening for Suresh Krishna to say, well, it did. We offered all our food to Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And then, anyway, he had a very good response from these people, including the leader, but simply through prasadam and being a good devotee. And they were there with their tilak and everything, and they're showing directly who we are, and they're there to spread Mahaprabhu's mercy through prasad. And really, that idea of not hearing anything, like Rupanuga Prabhu got a little hint that the world is a crazy place, especially now, means especially now, he must have been reading something or hearing something. And this way, those people on the retreat, they don't want to hear anything mundane. And they don't want to hear anything mundane. They don't want to speak anything mundane. And really, we are like that. We also try to have complete silence. We're not talking about the football, the baseball, the cricket, and all these things like that. We are talking only about the Krishna Katha things, devotee-related things, And we are trying to hear only the devotee topics. So they are taking one kind of Mauna Brata, but we are also taking one kind of, not maybe Brata, promise, but we are trying to not speak anything which is nonsense, which has no value. And Guru Maharaj describes the word anatta, say, oh, our anattas are things, the unwanted things in us. Anatta are things which are useless, which have no lasting value. So we don't want to hear anything about such things, and we don't want to speak anything about such things. Instead, all that energy, that time, that consciousness will be absorbed in hearing about Krishna-related things and speaking about Krishna-related things. And if we look at Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita, there he's giving stress to exactly this. Not to engage in mundane topics, not to mix with the mundane people, not to speak, not to hear, not to speak. Very similar directions given in those first, well, the verse 2 and verse 3 of Upadeshamrita. So, yes, the retreat, the real retreat is to be in the environment of the Krishna Katha. The fish we mentioned lives in the water. We can't live in the water. It's not healthy for us. But the fish, if he comes into our atmosphere, it's unhealthy for him. And Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his introduction to the Upadeshamrita, says that the Upadeshamrita is like poison for the atheists. They can't live in that environment, but it's like nectar for the devotees. They relish living in that environment. So the environment of Krishna Katha and Hare Katha, the environment of making our journey towards selflessness instead of increasing our selfishness. This is the life of the Vaishnavas. And there's the healthy environment for the Vaishnava. I could find you that quote of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but take my word for it. He does give that expression. That Upadeshamrita, that we have so much joy from Upadeshamrita, so much hope, so much direction, and telling us of the beauty, the glories of the goal of proper life. But the unfortunate, they think, oh no, this is interrupting my material enjoyment. This is not what I want. No. And Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, very strong. And whatever he's presenting, we have to take very seriously. Hare Krishna. I wonder if I can quickly find that, because reveal truth. Hare Krishna. It's not here. No, I can't quickly find it, but it is findable if I were to know. I know where the audio is because I was listening to the audio, as I do quite often, the other day. Sevarupa. Oh, Sevarupa says that Zoom is not connecting it for her. Maybe just your computer. Govinda, Govinda.
She's sending my heartfelt obeisances to Madhusudan Maharaj and all the devotees. You missed that little part.
I missed a little part. Oh, okay. I was reading a WhatsApp message, but I don't see her. You see, my Facebook, I don't see everybody.
No, she's on the other one. She's on the private group.
Oh, okay. Oh, so many places. But I do see Sumangala Devi, I think. So Sumangala, another representative of the Australian devotees, and she's been doing selfless seva, trying to keep everybody motivated and on the right track there in the Govinda Dham in UK, Australia. And Krishna Mohini Devirasi and Kali Kadamba and Priya Bhakta Prabhu. There's Sumangala sending obeisances with these hands like this. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any Krishnendrani Didi, would you like to make a little contribution today? If it's suitable to do so.
And the Wat Maharaj and all the devotees, I'm happy to be in this Zoom meeting. Thank you for everything, because you are arranging and benefiting everyone. I'm just happy I can say that. And today is Śrīla Bhakti Nirmal Āchārya Maharaj's appearance day, I guess. And I think Gurudev would be very happy if devotees would glorify him, because he said in one of his, I think, letters or speeches that Tako Palo Baspan, I don't know Sanskrit, but he said, give your affection to Śrīla Āchārya Maharaj. So I bow down to all the devotees here, headed by her holy self, and to Śrīla Āchārya Maharaj, Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandava Krishnendrani Didi, and Krishnendrani Didi, she's a very capable devotee there in Turkey, and she's been responsible for so much of the most important words, the words of our masters and the words of Bhagavad Gita, to come into the Turkish language so that Mahaprabhu's message can reach every corner, every nook and corner of the world. And Krishnendrani Didi, thank you for pointing this out. So 1 year suddenly has again passed by, and it's Āchārya Maharaj's appearance place, and I believe now they've found his appearance place along with maybe himself and others, and so a temple has been built there, and in honor of his appearance. And we know that Āchārya Maharaj himself, then he built a temple for Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, in his appearance place. And in turn, Āchārya Maharaj's disciples have, and the devotees have built a temple with affection and intent, for affectionate intent, there at his appearance place. I don't know the name of the town. It was kept a secret while we were in Navadip, but we can't keep secrets for long in Krishna consciousness. And so he's honored there, and we have a long and affectionate relationship with Maharaj from the day that he came to the temple in Navadip, and came, and he's seeing in the temple and being there and starting his devotional life in this lifetime, in our mat at least, starting his devotional life in Chaitanya Sarasat mat. And I'm not very good at years, but quickly, first, like everybody who comes to the temple, then different services being given, and then quickly he is doing very similar to the Srila Gurudev, we understand, did when he came to the temple, that he saw what needed to be done. At first he's doing, no, do this, do this, do this. And then he's seeing what needs to be done and doing that, rather than just, okay, you wash the pots, you do this, you do that. And Gurudev told about his own life, he said, and in the afternoon, everybody would go and sleep for a while. He said, but I wasn't like that. I would always do something. And so Āchārya Maharaj, he was quite like that. He was always active, and everybody who knows him knows that he was very energetic, and when there's any, especially when there's any project to do, he's completely focused on that project. And so he pleased Gurudev by his attitude, and of course, you can say most famously by the manifestation of Govinda Kund and the beautiful steps around, the gardens around, the guest house, and then later a 5-story guest house. So not only the guest house, which is 2 stories, well, 3 stories if you include the bottom, but at the bottom is an open area, it's up on stilts. But that guest house is so beautiful and overlooking Govinda Kund, and that would be the place generally where the Western devotees would stay after its completion. And everybody who went there, they also were feeling like they're in heaven, or should say actually beyond. But Srila Gurudev was so pleased by that, and it was his desire in the time of Guru Maharaj and after Guru Maharaj, he would again and again be considering, how will it be possible? How will it be possible? And then step by step, when Srila Āchārya Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Nirmala Āchārya Maharaj came to the mat, then Gurudev saw, oh, this, as he says, this boy has capacity. And remember, to Gurudev, we are all boys. And to Srila Prabhupada also, I remember reading one of my first early things about Srila Prabhupada. He said, all these boys and girls, they're all in their 20s or something like that. And when you're, just in your early 20s, you think, oh, we're not boys and girls, we're grown up. But from Srila Prabhupada's point of view, from Srila Gurudev's point of view, and still, I'm sure it's his point of view, that we are all boys and girls. Not sure how many he's going to put in the category of mature Vaishnavas. So we are taking our baby steps still. But Gurudev said, this boy, I think he can do. And the first project that Gurudev gave some charge to, not full charge, Gurudev managed, but it was like the time of training and the time of seeing the capacity of Āchārya Maharaj was the construction of the Centenary Memorial Building. And that's 1994. Must be Centenary, I think, was 1994 of Srila Guru Maharaj. And so that building, Srila Gurudev organizing everything, but gradually giving this charge about different aspects of the building, and closely, Āchārya Maharaj closely with him each day, hearing like the progress, this size of beam, etc. And then the whole process of sourcing everything, because it's not just, oh, we'll make a building. Gurudev was the hands-on person for the running of the whole temple, which means getting the bricks. And I mean, I don't know anything about the Western world as far as doing construction, but in India, there are bricks and there are bricks. You know what I mean? And it means you can get bricks which are going to crumble after a few years, or you can get bricks that are going to last. And then you have to know which are good bricks and bad bricks, and all sorts of things like this, which you maybe wouldn't have to know so much in the West. You just, okay, I need bricks. Okay, go down to the, they now have the superstores, don't they? Where you just go and you buy your bricks and things. But Āchārya Maharaj, he gets to know what is the quality of the bricks. And when he was sourcing bricks for Govinda Kund and for the buildings there, I also was with him sometimes, because Āchārya Maharaj, he couldn't drive, and I said, Maharaj, it's good you learned to drive. And he said, no, I can never drive. I'll kill everybody. And I think he made a good move not to drive, because he was like so speedy about everything he does. So he didn't drive, which was which was good. It's about the only thing he didn't do, because he did like all kinds of things. And so, you know, we were happily his driver, and which means, you know, on the motorcycle, sorry, Āchārya Maharaj, but he was quite happy on the motorcycle, on the back of the bike. So we would go to the brick factories, and we go to one brick factory, and then you see how they're making the bricks. And there's Āchārya Maharaj, and he's walking around, and he's like quizzing the man, and then he's showing us the bricks. And then when we come away on the motorcycle, he's saying, oh, these bricks, they're no good. They're cheating by not putting the right amount of this or that. Anyway, it was a whole, you know, process, even to buy the bricks and then everything else. So anyway, there's a lot of learning to do. And he had that capacity that he once hears from Gurudev, and he learns and he knows it. And it's not that he's writing everything down in a book. And so this way, during the construction of the centenary building, then Srila Gurudev gave him more and more responsibility, more and more teaching. And then after that, then Gurudev is talking with Āchārya Maharaj, saying, and can you do? When he's showing about Govinda Kund, because Govinda Kund is a particular challenge. It's very, it's just, well, it's very, okay, it's very wet and muddy. A lake is wet and muddy. Okay, so we accept that from the beginning, but it's wet and muddy everywhere means that the ground underneath, it is not rock. It's not like building a building on a foundation of rock. So to make all those, to make it from kind of just a pond into a developed area with the steps, and then also this was the wish of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj too, to have the temple in the center of the Kund. All of this, it wasn't a straightforward job that you'd probably give, you know, a first-time builder, as it were, who's just, you know, come out from their university course on architecture and construction and, you know, done the whole university course thing. But Āchārya Maharaj had the substance of the university, the practical substance of the university course in the teachings of Srila Gurudev, in the method of how to do this and how to do that. And as with everything, when you don't know how to do something, how to know how to do it, you know, what are the contacts and this, that, and the other. So we had engineers who would draw up the plans and who would approve and come and look and give their advice. You do need to have professional engineers. Otherwise, you will not have, you know, strength in the floors and whatever it is. So anyway, this way, okay, maybe I'm going to too much detail, but we were there through quite a lot of the detail of how Govinda Kund manifested and how that is a 25 hours a day consciousness, you know, of everything, managing all those people. And he was able to manage all those people. If you've seen any little videos or pictures of when they're doing the construction, there are sometimes there are over 100 persons employed there. And when you employ 5 people, you've got to manage that everyone's doing what they're meant to be doing and not doing, you know, not doing wrong and not going, well, as Guru Maharaj says, about 3 things we can do with our energy. We can be selfish and just try to steal things for ourselves. We can be dedicated, where we're giving our energy, which is what we should be doing, or we can go on strike and do nothing. So, you know, you have to manage. If you've got 5 people, you've got to manage those people. If you've got 105, or sometimes maybe over 200 at the time of pouring the cement, I don't know, but we'll safely say at least 100. Then there's a lot of coordination, delegation, and all sorts of things that take place. And so he was managing all of this on a micro level, as well as on the bigger plan of it's going to manifest. But he was the instrument for Gurudev, and Gurudev was very pleased. And so much involved, and while talking to you, I'm going through all sorts of things in my mind of the arrangements that were made at practically every step for that construction. So anyway, a little bit focusing there, but Govinda Kund really was something which brought so much joy to Gurudev, and eternally, eternally the benefit of Āchārya Maharaj and the joy of knowing that this has taken place, his capacity to do that, and the happiness that Gurudev felt when Āchārya Maharaj is taking this extra responsibilities. And by the way, they took quite a while. You can't make Govinda Kund and all of that construction in a day. So he's doing that, and bit by bit, Āchārya Maharaj is also taking the charge of doing the collections for Gaura Purnima, means going village to village, begging rice, dal, potatoes, and oil, cooking oil, of course, and other things like this. And so anyone who's been with him on those trips too knows how energetic and capable he is to go to collect, cartloads, many tons of potatoes and rice and this, that, and the other. But that also takes time. Just to organize that and do that is a time-consuming and very energy-consuming, consciousness-consuming activity. And organizing the festivals, which grew year by year by year. And as the facilities in the temple grew, the festivals grew even faster than the facilities. So what we thought was a big festival in 1982, by 2002 had become, a very big festival. And it doesn't matter how many new rooms manifested, it would never be enough. There'd be more and more people coming. We think, okay, now we'll have accommodation for everyone. But no. Thousands of people by the end, 2002, 2008, thousands of people coming for Gaura Purnima, for instance, and for the Vyasa Puja festivals too, but that's not so long, Vyasa Puja, then they'll stay one night or 2 nights. But all of this being managed and done simultaneously, not neglecting one part and only doing the development of the Kund, or only doing the collections for the Gaura Purnima and other programs, or only doing the festivals. And with all this, looking after the maintenance of the temples and the buildings, the construction, the rice growing, our own cultivation, managing all of that. And then in one section of the rice fields also, he developed growing our own vegetables. And where the rice fields are, there are no monkeys. Where the temple is, there are monkeys. And monkeys are a little like us. They like vegetables, and especially uncooked salad. So in Chaitanya Saraswat Math, we'd always have to have a guard for the vegetable garden. But where the rice fields are, in Sinjali and well, Sinjali is where there are 2 sections, Sinjali and Bonapoko. In Sinjali, then one section of the rice fields, Āchārya Maharaj developed into a vegetable field, a vegetable garden, but big vegetable garden. And again, being very practical for arranging the bhoga, the foodstuffs for the deities, and of course for the devotees. And that dynamic energy to do all these things, and to do them simultaneously, and to actually follow this Sharanagati process that the Italians, give them all credit, described as, what is Sharanagati? What is surrender? Just smile and say yes. And so, and then of course, after just smiling and saying, yes, doing it. And Āchārya Maharaj was very capable to do. And when you're around that energy, it is energizing to all those who are around and about and in that company. And then, oh, well, I should not miss, well, I shouldn't miss a lot of things which I probably am missing, but shouldn't miss that also he built that, like, secretly at first, but Gurudev, you can't keep a secret from Gurudev. It's just not possible because he does know everything. He speaks with the ghosts. He asks them what's happening here, what's happening there. Gurudev knows what's going on, but he secretly constructed, at least the beginning of the construction was secret, the temple at Bamonpara for the honor of Srila Gurudev's birthplace. And that was, you know, a major undertaking by itself, and such a beautiful temple and such beautiful development and everything. And that was done, you know, while doing other things. And it was done as like a secret project, but it took a lot of managing to make it possible. That Bamonpara, now it has a road. And that, by the way, that road is by the grace of Āchārya Maharaj and his pushing to the local authorities about making a road, and successfully getting a road made from Putsuri, where Gurudev would go to school. That last part, it was a mud road at best, if you want to call it a road. It was a very deep, thick mud track that goes from where he went to school to the Bamonpara village, and only basically by buffalo cart can you go for much of the year. And he got the road made to there for the inauguration of the temple. And before that, it was very difficult to go, but still he arranged the bricks, the cement, the iron, the workers, the plumbing, all the things that go to make a temple and an ashram building. And Gurudev was very pleased. And again, you know, it's one in a whole long list of seva that was done by Āchārya Maharaj with much capacity, much energy. And one thing to have capacity and energy, but the other thing is to bring it all together. And he brought it together. And of course, by the grace of Gurudev. But for someone to be, for an instrument, you need good material to make an instrument. And Gurudev said about, if you want to make a sword, you have to have a good iron. If you have, you know, not good iron, you can't, however much you try to make a sharp edge, it won't become so sharp. So he was a very good iron, a good quality instrument from which Gurudev, material from which Gurudev can make him the instrument for doing so many simultaneous services. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Krishna and Rani, for the reminder. And actually, we've had a very quiet couple of weeks of festivals. And so now we have to be aware that again, oh, well, Kartik is coming up, that again, we're going to have a flow of festivals coming up, but still a little quiet now until Kartik. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Nirmala Āchārya Maharaj ki Jai on his Sri Vyasa Puja Day.
Dear Maharaj, my voice is still not clear, so I would like to invite Jaidev Prabhu to read the chat. There are 4 sections there.
Okay, but your voice is better. You're sounding
better, yes.
Yeah. Yes, Jaidev.
Yeah, I can, yeah, and I was just going to say that your voice is sounding very nice. It's sounding a lot better. You're getting there. Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in 4 sections, I think. Yeah, 1 of 4. Today we had Vimala Didi in Bhakti Yoga for Kids, speaking about Śrīla Āchāryadev's appearance day. And as always, she spoke sweetly from the heart. At the end, I read the following. Before his departure, Śrīla Govinda Maharaj declared Śrīla Bhakti Nirmal Āchārya Maharaj to be his successor as the Saivite President Āchārya of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mutt, and appointed Acharyas from Western countries to lead the development of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mutt worldwide. Śrīla Āchāryadev, referring to Śrīla Govinda Maharaj, once said, quote, Guru Deva's Leela is going on, but only the fortunate souls can see it. That is why we must engage everybody in service on his appearance day. Whatever capacity we have in kaya, mana, vakya, body, mind, or speech, we must serve his appearance day. So tomorrow, Sunday, 15th of October, is the worldwide festival to honor his appearance day. So let's all observe this day immersed in Shri Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, and Hari Seva by joining and rendering assistance to the festivals observed in our communities. And just while I have the mic, I just wanted to say I read this before, and I really feel that and was touched by that idea that his Leela is always going on if we just tune into it, like lucky ones can tune into it. Amazing, amazing.
Jai.
Thank you
And-
so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Radha Sundari has a question. Quickly, quickly, because it's
see
late
that.
for Maharaj.
If it's a short question, Radha
It's
Sundari.
maybe a very short question, and it was from Padma. And I just remember when Āchāryadev Prabhu was saying about Bhakti Yoga for Kids. He asked me the other day, last Ekadashi, why do Krishna wants us to follow Ekadashi? So it's a short question.
And what did you answer her?
I tried to find information in the internet, but I couldn't. And I decided to ask you on Bhakti Basics.
Okay, well, it's a short question and we'll give a short answer. It's his wish, and we know it's his wish through the devotees of the Lord, headed by the Lord himself as a devotee, means Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And he asked his mother just that one request. He begged one thing from his mother. Mother, please follow Ekadashi. So this is good enough for us. More than
Yes, this story I said because I remember it's in my mind that Mahaprabhu asked his mom. The other things I didn't know what to say, like why is the Ekadashi so special and why do we need to follow it?
Well, we can answer that. Good enough for us.
Yeah.
It's good enough for Sachidevi and Mahaprabhu. It's good enough for us. Yes, we'll happily do this.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
All dear devotees here on Zoom, on Facebook, and on another Facebook too. Okay. To all of the devotees and to all of the devotees who are seeing the recorded versions too, our obeisances, and yes, let us all give honor and praise to the devotees, and let us all try to not only be a, what do they say, spectator. It's not a spectator sport, service, but service is a participant sport, participant activity. So let us all not only see and hear, but let us also do. So with mind, body, and words, just now, as we heard, let us try to engage ourselves with enthusiasm, with confidence, with patience. We're going
And
somewhere
Maharaj,
special by
please
this time.
let me mention the devotees on the other Facebook. Krishna Priya Devidasi, Deborah Talbot, Yashodananda Prabhu in Argentina, Nityananda Prabhu in Mexico, Mahamantra Prabhu in Spain, Purnima Thundi in London, and Nandarani Maclay. I don't know where is Nandarani, but she is also offering obeisances. Tungarasa is also in that group.
She's Stereo Tungarasa.
Yes.
All right, wonderful to all of you. And the devotees' names are also the joy of the other devotees of us all, to hear their names, to remember them, and may we try to do everything nicely with that gem of all gems, the Upadeshamritam, which is the life breath of the devotees. Let us try to continue our lives happily, chant Hare Krishna, praise the devotees, and engage in seva. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai, all the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Āchārya Brinda ki Jai, and Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. To all of you,
Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
all of you one by one, our heart, happiness and respects, appreciation and obeisances. Hare
And
Krishna.
our garland to you, Maharaj, with all affection.
Hare Krishna, too much kind. Ashchi, I leave you peacefully altogether.
Dhanavad, Maharaj. Thank you so very much. So sweet and so special. Thank you, Prabhu, for reading. That was so, so very nice. Bless you all. See you soon. Hare Krishna.